Thursday. I'm sorry I'm later than I thought I would be. I wasn't feeling so great this morning, but now I'm ready to rock and roll. Super excited to talk about probiotics and gut health today. Comment here in the chat if you're joining me live. Say, hey, Kristen, let me know you're here so I can give you a shout out. Guys, remember, if you have questions as I'm going through today's training, you can go ahead and comment here in the chat. If you are joining the replay, go ahead and give me a hashtag replay. I want to see that you were here to learn. And I want to thank all of you for joining me regardless if you're live or if you're watching the replay. Like I said, I know I changed the time last minute, so thank you those of you who joined me for your flexibility. But you guys, I get like so many questions about probiotics, and I think there's a lot of conflicting thoughts about probiotics in the research because truth be told, guys, this is something I'm actually going to dive in today a little bit, is that there is so much new research pending about the probiotics, right? And of course, probiotics are good, which I'm going to get into here in a little bit, but the effectiveness of probiotics on the human gut is questionable. And so I'm going to kind of give you the truth. I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the truth about probiotics and gut health in general. And you guys, I want to also make this very clear. Hey, Donna, how's it going, love? I want to make it clear that this is a very diverse subject, okay? You know, there are whole courses designed in gut health. I actually work part-time for integrative nutrition, and there's a whole new course for coaches who take on gut health alone. And, you know, there are tons and tons of books, documentaries on this topic, but I like to keep my videos to like 15, 20 minutes max. So I like to give you the whole spectrum and let you make the choice of whether or not you want to add probiotics into your diet and how to go about doing that, if it's something you should be doing. Comment here in the chat if you're taking a probiotic. Tell me, yes, I'm taking it. No, I want to know more about it. Yes, I'm taking this particular brand. I want to hear what you're doing, okay? And I am going to actually bring up some of my favorite products today. And you guys, it's very important. I always tell my clients this. I don't sell products. I am not part of an LLM. I don't make any money selling products. It's too much work for me, to be honest. I do enough with my CMW clients. But I do have to share products that I like and that I use personally that have made a benefit in my life or the clients that I've worked with. Okay, so I will be sharing a couple things today. And before I even jump into the good, the bad, and the truth, I want to clarify the difference between prebiotic and probiotic because this is a very common question that I get. And so while today's discussion is geared for probiotics, okay, which is good bacteria, that's what it actually means, right? Good bacteria. There are prebiotics. So I actually have a little bottle here. This is the prebiotic powder. Also, you know, one other form of prebiotic powder is inulin. Okay, so a lot of you guys are probably seeing in protein bars and a lot of processed foods that they're adding inulin to it. I mean, Lily's chocolate's one of my favorite chocolate bars, and they add inulin to it because it boosts the fiber count in food. So the food industry is all about adding chicory root and inulin to processed foods like crackers, cereals, bars, protein powders, I mean, you name it, in order to boost candy, for example, to boost the fiber value, because everyone knows that fiber is really important, not just for your gut health, but also satiety. So food companies can say like, oh yeah, we have lots of fiber, and they add inulin, okay, or chicory root. Now, if you have IBS, for example, inulin or chicory root, you know, okay, that is a high FODMAP food, right? So that can cause havoc on your health, right? If you have IBS or IBS-like symptoms, right? Because it is high FODMAP food. And if you want to learn more about IBS, I can definitely help you with that because I sometimes suffer from IBS-like symptoms, very common actually. So this might wreak havoc on you. But what prebiotics do is they feed the probiotics, okay? So probiotics are the bacteria. Prebiotics is the food for the bacteria. Does that make sense? Okay. And oftentimes, guys, if you have like a candida overgrowth, for example, that means there's lots of yeast in your system and your body is feeding off of the sugar. So that's why really reducing sugar in your diet is super important because the more you eat sugar, the more your body's going to crave it. And then it's going to really lower the good bacteria in your gut and it's going to raise the bad bacteria. Hey, Lisa, how's it going? So that's why, you know, I want to talk about probiotics today and how to improve the good bacteria in your gut because it is super important. And actually, Lizelle, I saw your comment the other day in the group that you know, because you learned that probiotics help with your digestion. Number one here, super, I'm actually going to go this way today. Yes, so probiotics are amazing for digestion. So for example, if you struggle from bloating, Okay. I mean, who doesn't struggle with bloating? Hashtag bloating if you struggle with bloating. Yeah, there are some days where I might look like 4 months pregnant, right? And I eat super, super healthy. But bloating can come from a number of things, guys. And I'll talk about that in a little bit here. But, probiotics can definitely help with digestion. They can help with bloating. They can help with all kinds of things. So that's one of the benefits. So taking a probiotic, and some probiotics will actually say take with a meal. Some will say take on an empty stomach. Really depends on the protocol there. But they can definitely aid in digestion, because the more good bacteria you have in your gut, the easier things are going to work for you, right? That's what they're designed for. And now what I want to get into is what is like newer research. Okay, so this is really coming through the pipeline now over the last few years about when we have more probiotics in our system, okay, when we have more good bacteria, our moods are better. Okay, so you might see on the market there are lots of probiotics that promote like better mood. Okay, because there is a connection between the mind and the gut, right? There definitely is, but over the years, they've been doing more and more research. So they know there's a connection. They're just not sure about how strong that connection is. And if you're looking to learn more about this, there's actually a really amazing book. I have it right here, actually. It's called The Mind-Gut Connection. You guys see that? By Dr. Emran Meyer. And I actually had a chance to meet him 2 years ago at a nutrition symposium I attended. He's an amazing guy. He's a cardiologist. But he has spent the last several years really focusing on gut health, because as doctors don't really learn a lot about nutrition. I actually have several clients that are doctors, and they don't learn a lot about nutrition. And so he says, I never learned this stuff, and I know there's a reason why my patients are struggling in their life with stress, especially. And so he knows that the microbiome is a big part of that. So and in the book, they talk about the link between probiotics and really boosting your gut health and less stress and anxiety in patients, right? So for example, guys, the probiotic that I actually take, I have it right here. It's actually by this brand called Lifted. It's a new one I'm trying, and I test all different products to see what works best for me. And it's actually marketed as Mood Boost. You guys can see that. Don't mind my nails, they're terrible. And I prefer this strain of probiotic. It's called B Impetus. I use this because some probiotic strains I don't do well with, okay? If you suffer from IBS, for example, or if you have any dairy intolerances, some of the probiotic strains are going to wreak havoc on your gut, might actually cause you bloating, or they're not gonna help your digestive system. So this strain of probiotic, B Impetus, has actually been proven to help IBS patients, and also the best one for bloating. Okay, so if you're like me, that sometimes you're just like 4 months pregnant when you're definitely not pregnant, and you eat super healthy, and you work out like we do, this one has been really good. And they say that this particular strain, and actually there's a combination of a few of them, does help with the stress as well. Because you guys, bloating, and I've said this before, hey Erin, if you have heard me talk about bloating before, I've posted pictures about this, a lot of times we bloat because of stress. Okay, especially I've talked about my stress eating before. That's something I've struggled with a lot in the past. Not so much now, I've nailed it. But if you struggle with stress in your life, I know that one of the ways that my body shows stress is through my gut, all right? The mind-gut connection is super, super strong. And there's more research coming down the pipeline, like I said, about it. So probiotics, as is discussed in the book, can definitely help improve your mood, okay? Third and most important, in my opinion, okay, is that it can help with improving your nutrient absorption. So those of us who try to eat healthy, we always care about our health. When our gut is healthy, when our gut wall is healthy, we don't have any leaks, or leaky guts, very popular, right? If we have a strong gut, then we absorb more nutrients, right? They say 95% of autoimmune diseases come from leaky gut, right? Leaky gut are like little holes in your gut wall that develop over time from things like gluten, things like lectins, things like pesticides, antibiotics, all of these man-made synthetics, right? These products that really wreak havoc on the gut wall. And that's how we're getting all of these diseases in our life. It affects our hormone balance. It affects our hunger, our sleep, everything, right? And so when our gut wall is healthy, guess what? We are going to absorb more of these nutrients we're consuming, and they're not going to leak out of our body. How awesome is that, right? In addition, when our gut wall is strong, we better not only process, but we metabolize, right? We utilize our calories better, and our macronutrients better. Did you know that the gut wall is designed to recycle 20% of the protein you consume? That's why I oftentimes say people overconsume protein. And if we're eating too much protein, guess what? It can raise your A1C, the blood sugar, and it can also cause more sugar cravings. So if your gut wall is healthy, you're going to recycle a lot of the protein you're already consuming. 20% significant. And that is reliant on your gut health. Right? So this is why gut health is so important, not just for your health, guys, but the weight loss journey. Because when your gut is healthy, you're better metabolizing calories, you're not storing them, you're actually going to burn them better, right? And utilize them, use them for energy instead of like getting to storage. Okay. And your fats, you're eating more healthy fats. You know, you're going to, instead of storing them, you're going to burn them. Okay, I'm going to talk about that in a little bit here too. Aaron, I see your question. I'm probably going to answer it. Oh wait, no. Do BioComplete 3. Oh, Dr. Gundry's vitamins. Yes, I don't know about that particular one. I haven't tested it. You guys, when it comes to probiotics, there are so many different kinds. Oh my gosh. And this is why I get so many questions. Like, what's the best one for you? And truth be told, I've tried all different kinds. And the only way to really learn which one works for you is to use it consistently for at least 30 days. Okay, you know, so this is like a 2-month supply right here. And so I'm going to test it for the next 60 days and see how it goes. You know, some I haven't noticed much of a difference. So I'm going to try this one out. Aaron, I would try that one for the next 60 days and see 30 days at least. Take it every day, you know, once or twice a day, looking at the label, and also pairing it with the right diet, because we cannot rely on these pills. These are not miracle workers. It is supplemental. Right? And Aaron, I know you know all about healthy eating. I'm teaching you right now in my program. You're crushing it. You're almost 3 pounds down your first week, girl. You're awesome, awesome. After being plateaued, love it. Donna, I take a huge amount of vitamins and some probiotics. Awesome. You guys, it's also important to look at the quality of your vitamins. Oftentimes there's lots of like stuff in vitamins. Like sometimes there are gluten, sometimes there are starches and sugars. You guys, one of the things I don't recommend, okay, this is a big no-no, don't get those gummies, like the pre or probiotic gummies. They usually have sugar in them. Like usually the first or second ingredient's cane sugar or corn syrup, or, you know, the whole point of taking a probiotic is to improve your gut health. And if the first or second ingredient is sugar, guess what? That's not going to help your gut. Sugar is like the ultimate no-no, right? There is not one diet out there that says eat all the sugar you want, right? The more the better. Okay, so it's important to kind of use common sense in that sense. Well, there's sugar in here. Why am I eating it? Okay, I'd rather go have some like gummy bears another time. But like if you're having a vitamin, you know, I would just keep it as simple as possible. You know, like this one, I got this on Amazon, you guys. It's purely the strain, right? The beet impetus. And then it is just the capsule. You know, it's dairy-free, gluten-free, everything free pretty much. This was like 20 bucks on Amazon, okay? For 60 capsules, totally worth it. You know, Whole Foods just had a 25% off sale on all their supplements. So I actually got a couple things to test there as well. Okay, back to, so I talked about the good. Okay, and guys, obviously there's a lot of good to probiotics. So taking them is not going to hurt you. Okay, you're not going to poison yourself by taking probiotics. So just to be clear there, yes, true about the gummies. Yeah, Donna, I say this all the time. And same thing with like apple cider vinegar gummies. I feel like they try to put everything in a gummy so kids and even adults eat it. But look at the ingredients. Like if there's all different kinds of sugar, that defeats the purpose, right? Just get a plain capsule. Okay, the bad. No, I want to stay on this side today. That's my computer screen right there. Sorry, guys. Okay, now I want to be totally honest with you guys about the probiotic studies. There is inconsistent evidence about the effectiveness of probiotics. So everybody knows that of taking probiotics, I mean, like via pill, right, orally. So there's no doubt that good gut bacteria is important. Okay, we can't argue that, right? And that's what this book, in many books, Dr. Gundry talks about this a lot. In Plant Paradox, Longevity Paradox, it's actually my favorite book of his. It's his recent one. I'm always reading about gut health. It blows my mind about the mind-gut connection. And I know it's something that I have struggled with in my past. Emotional eaters have. And so I'm very, very keen on the mind-gut connection. But the truth is there is inconsistent evidence about the effectiveness of taking an oral probiotic. While some studies have shown that they do help patients, okay, there are also studies that show that there's no significant improvement in patient symptoms when taking a probiotic. Now, granted, the studies vary based on whether they were tested on mice versus humans. And the truth be told, a lot of the probiotic studies that have been conducted are on animals, right? And then so there's criticism on that, like, well, we know it works in mice, but what about humans? And you can say that about any kind of medical testing that happens, right? And so it's really up to you of what you want to do with that information. But the truth is, yes, there's inconsistent evidence. Half the studies show yes, probiotics work, half of them show that they don't, right? And it can depend on a few factors. Number one, it's the quality of the probiotic, right? And so I think this is also where the question comes in, like, well, what is the best one? Which strain? And there's all different kinds. There's all different, like this capsule's 5 billion, this one's 50 billion. Like, how many billion do I need? And depending on who you ask, you're gonna get a different number. And again, it honestly depends on what you're doing in the rest of your life. And I'm gonna get into that in a little bit because we can't rely on a pill, right? But back to quality control. So for example, there is some evidence that shows that when you swallow a pill, and this is not even just like probiotics, but any pill, a digestive enzyme, for example, a vitamin, for example, you swallow that, it breaks down in your esophagus, right? All the acid going down your digestive tract, and it completely disintegrates before it even gets to your gut, right? So there's some evidence that it's not even that helpful, right? So guys, they're all different kinds of study. And believe me, I read all of the research. I am like an education nut, right? So, I don't want you guys to like stress about taking a probiotic, right? I mean, yes, I recommend taking one. I take one every day. I know it helps me tremendously. I do this. I don't do the pre, it kind of ruins my stomach with the inulin, but I do love the probiotic. And I will talk about the importance of eating your probiotics versus relying on a pill. So that's going to be big. Because we can't rely on a pill, guys. That's the problem. Because honestly, the pill is just one source of probiotics. And, it's way better to get probiotics and other sources in your diet, but it's also important of what you're not eating. Because when we're eating like a very acidic diet, for example, lots of sugar, lots of alcohol, lots of dairy, lots of meat, lots of these very acidic foods, oftentimes it will really elevate the bad bacteria and the good bacteria will go down, right? So the whole purpose of taking the probiotic is to kind of balance them out, right? So it can definitely help, but we can't rely on a pill, right? So super important. Also, consistency. Comment in the chat here if you struggle with taking pills consistently, okay? Am I the only one? Like, I'm not, actually, no. I do take this, but other vitamins I'm not super good at. And I know sometimes like we forget, or we'll do it for 3 weeks and we stop taking it. We jump over to another pill and try something else. The only way to learn if a product works for us is if we use it regularly for an extended period of time, just like skincare, just like hair products, just like a workout program. Guys, how we do one thing is how we do everything, right? So unless you keep using something, how do you know if it's going to work for you, right? So what we do consistently is who we will become. Hashtag consistency. I mean, you guys, that's everything. And if we struggle with consistency, guess what? It's bad because you're never going to see the results of the probiotics. Consistent with taking the pill, consistent with eating healthy, consistency with exercise, because guess what? Exercise has been proven to improve the gut microbiome. It produces the microbes in your gut. It's going to improve the lining of the gut wall, and it's also going to increase butyrate. Okay, all my keto people, you know what butyrate is, right? It actually helps us break down fatty acids, right? So we better metabolize fat, right, as fuel. Okay, so like everything is connected. This is what I teach and create my way. Okay, our nutrition, our exercise, our head, our stress levels, managing that's huge for having a good health, gut health. All right, very, very important. And doing it consistently, that's where the accountability comes in. 4 steps to food freedom, okay? Also, last but not least, some probiotics can get expensive. And you guys, I have taken, oh my God, everything from like $8 probiotics to like $50 probiotics. I've taken them all. Actually, just a little bit of tidbit here. Japan, okay? That's one country that when all this crazy COVID stuff is over, I really want to go to Japan. Japan has the highest level of standards for supplements, right? So for example, in the United States, in order for a supplement, like let's say you buy vitamin B, for example, in order for it to be considered vitamin B, it only has to be 49% vitamin B. Okay, the rest can be whatever. Okay, fillers, other crap. In Japan, it's 90%, right? So Japanese supplements are just known to be better off in general with everything. And so for a while, I was taking all these Japanese supplements, and I was taking their probiotic and their enzyme. Yes, they're more expensive, but I noticed like a difference, but not so much. I honestly noticed more of a difference when my diet was better, right? When I was more consistent with that. And those of you who've heard me talk, I like my sweets. And so when I was really eating a lot of sweets, then that's when my gut was all out of whack. My digestion, forget it. If I'm eating super fast, comment in the chat here if you eat fast. I mean, Lizelle, you're a teacher. I was a teacher for 10 years. I had a 20-minute lunch break. Guess what? I would eat a super healthy lunch, but my stomach, I looked 4 months pregnant. I've had 3 students in my experience ask me if I was pregnant after eating lunch. Like, I'll never forget. I mean, I wasn't upset, like when you're a high school teacher, you have really thick skin. But, it was a little disheartening, because I just wasn't digesting properly. And I know it was because of this, right? So yeah, I want to kind of go back to the probiotics. So they can be expensive, and oftentimes like, you're paying $30, $40 a bottle, and that can oftentimes be a lot for people. So I get it. I mean, this I got on Amazon for, I think it was $20. There's other ones out there for 15, 20. But honestly, guys, one of my favorite probiotics actually, and this is discussed in the book, Erin, that you're talking about, is the BC30. So BC30 is a strain of probiotic that has been known to get through the digestive tract, all right? So it's much more likely to get to your gut than other probiotics out there. There's actually a good brand out there called Shifts, SCHNIFF''S, I think it is. I'll write it here in the chat. You can get that in any grocery store. It's a and a probiotic in a capsule. It's like $10 or $11. It's shelf stable. So you will see shelf stable and you will see refrigerated probiotics. And I wouldn't necessarily say one is better than the other. They're probably just different strains of probiotics. Like some have to be refrigerated and others don't. Like this one that I take, the B Invitus, doesn't have to be refrigerated, but a lot of the lactose-based ones should be refrigerated. There's all different kinds of bacteria, you guys. Oh my God. That's why I said I could be here for an hour. I'm already at 22 minutes. Holy crap. I gotta get this move on here. Lizelle, yes. Oh my gosh. Eat kimchi. That's gonna be the truth. Eating your probiotics is always gonna be the game changer. Always, always, always. And I'm actually gonna share one of my new favorites that Lizelle and Erin, you know about, because I've talked about it in the group, okay, the CMW group. Okay, let's go over here. The truth. Okay, here we go. The truth about probiotics. You guys ready? You probably can't read my notes, but I'm going to read it to you now. As I've been suggesting, right, probiotics can help, but we cannot rely on them. They are not a fix-all. We can't just take one pill a day and expect everything to be good, okay? We have to have a good diet in other ways, all right? And so that's what I'm referring to now. Eat your probiotics, okay? So as Lizelle just said, kimchi is a fermented food. So eating fermented foods. For example, kombucha. I love kombucha. It's a fermented beverage, right? The bottom, all that stuff at the bottom that we're always like, ew, gross. Like that's called the Scooby. Actually, my husband makes kombucha here at home. That is probiotics. Literally, like sometimes he'll just like eat that, or just like he'll drink that because it's so good. Or like apple cider vinegar, all that stuff at the bottom, that's the probiotics. Right? So apple cider vinegar is another form of probiotics. Yogurt is a great form of probiotics, right? And a lot of you guys that do dairy yogurt, you get the probiotics there. Kefir is another example of probiotics, which is a fermented milk beverage, right? Fermented veggies, for example, cabbage, sauerkraut, pickled veggies, that's all the same thing there. So eating a lot of fermented foods. But those of you who are dairy free, like me, okay, I cannot do dairy. I used to love Greek yogurt, guys. It just ruins my stomach. Like, I wish I could eat it. Oh, God. But I have found a dairy-free yogurt that I love that actually has probiotics in it. And I'm going to share with you guys right now. So Erin and Lizelle, you've seen this before. This is the Cocoa Yo. Okay, this is by far my favorite yogurt these days. It's actually made by the same company, GT's, that makes my favorite kombucha, which is the GT's kombucha. They're the makers of like ginger ale kombucha. Trilogy's another great flavor. And this you can actually, this comes in a glass jar, all right? And you guys, it literally tastes like custard. Like the texture is so delicious. This is found at like Whole Foods, Wegmans might have it, Sprouts, some of like the nicer supermarkets. So it's not easy to find. I will be very honest with you guys. And I will say too, it's not the cheapest yogurt. Now, granted, I am not a yogurt person. Like I don't eat yogurt every day. I know some people do. It's like their go-to breakfast. I mean, this runs about $5 a jar, so that's kind of pricey. But I will say, you know, I have yogurt maybe once or twice a week maximum. I'm really not a yogurt person. This will last me the whole week, okay? Because literally half of a container, it's 100 calories, so it's not bad at all. You know, it is coconut based, so the only ingredients are coconut, coconut water, probiotic cultures, and that's it. Okay, this is the plain one. So sometimes I'll get this and I'll just put my own like chocolate or cacao powder in here, or I'll put in some stevia. There's also a vanilla one that's so good. Vanilla is actually my favorite. My husband just bought this plain one. I got him into this. He really likes it. So like I said, yeah, it's like $5 a jar, but this lasts me for a whole week, you know? And so it's like my treat, you know? So $5, you guys, like, I'm sorry, if you're gonna pay $7, $10 for a glass of wine and then complain about a $5 yogurt, like, come on. Like this lasts me for the week and it's like delicious. I know Monique's gonna watch the replay. Regine's gonna watch the replay. They love this stuff too. Try it out if you're looking for a good dairy-free yogurt. Delish. It's not high in protein. So it only is 1 gram of protein. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll add a scoop of protein powder, like my plant-based protein powder. I'll add a little bit of flax for some fiber. Super, super good. Love it. Okay, that's a form of probiotic. So eating your probiotics is going to be really, really important. Also eating your prebiotics. Guys, for example, I showed you this earlier, the inulin, right? So a lot of vegetables like artichoke hearts, asparagus, dandelion tea, those are high in inulin and chicory root naturally. Okay, yeah, Aaron, give it a try. I know you tried that other yogurt and you didn't like it, the Kite Hill, or you got the almond yogurt. I know, you guys, there is a lot of room to grow in the dairy-free yogurt department. You guys, I've tried all of them. I am always product testing. Those of you guys who know me, my CMW preferred foods list is extensive. It's like 20 pages by now. And I'm always adding things to it and taking things off as companies change their ingredients for stuff. So, you know, I'm always adding new things. So this yogurt is definitely on there. Rebecca, hey girl, this is the Cocoa Yo. Oh, Rebecca, you're going to love this. Okay, you guys, Rebecca's a registered dietitian and a nurse in the COVID unit in San Diego. So I'll give her a big shout out. Did the CMW program. Love you, girl. Penn Stater. I'm so glad you're here. She wants to live a plant-based lifestyle. Super happy to see you. Try the yogurt. You can get it at Sprouts, Rebecca. I know there's a Sprouts by you, so you can grab it there. Like I said, you know, sometimes it's on sale. Whole Foods has like $1 off all the time. It only comes in vanilla and plain, and they're unsweetened, so you don't have to worry about it. With the vanilla, it's with stevia, actually. I think they do add stevia to theirs. So if you don't like stevia, sorry. I might. I don't have it in front of me. I forget. But eating your probiotics is super, super important, more than anything. And even eating your prebiotics, like I was just saying. Okay, and the most important thing, guys, for gut health, okay, here, is that you must, in order to have good gut health, you have to, you know, take your probiotics, right, once or twice a day, whatever it says, and pair it with a healthy diet, an exercise plan, and stress management, okay? Write that down. It is a 4-step process, okay? Nutrition, fitness, mindset, okay, here. Look, guys, there are so many books. This is just one. I love this guy. He's awesome. So many books out there on the mind-gut connection. You guys, and like, I know when I'm good here, my bloating's like gone. Not even a problem, okay? Exercise helps with bloating too. Y'all know that too. And with digestion, you guys know going for a walk after you eat helps with digestion. Hello, this is like, you know, we learned this in elementary school probably. But yeah, probiotics are not the, you know, the holy grail. It's just part of the piece. You guys, when we're really committed to a healthy lifestyle and when we're consistent, right, you will really benefit from the results, okay, of all the pieces, like eating the right foods most of the time, getting your exercise. And that doesn't mean having to do crazy intense workouts 5 days a week. No, even just starting off small, working up to, you know, 3 days a week, right, 2 to 3 days a week. Just start small, guys, start somewhere. Because all of those things will help with your gut health. So as I always say in Create My Weight, health first, weight loss second. And the truth is you need both with strategy. You can have both with strategy, okay? You can be healthy, you can lose weight, and you can, have both. So oftentimes, guys, a lot of these weight loss plans out there, they're not really designed for gut health, right? They're telling you, like, Weight Watchers. I'm sorry if you've done Weight Watchers and you like it. I'm sorry, guys. But, like, they say eat all eat all the meat, right? Or, like, all the Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt, yes, there's probiotics in there, but dairy, you guys, is not great for the gut. No. Gluten, right? So, we're going to talk about gluten here a little bit. Is gluten the worst thing for your gut? No, but it's not going to help either. So I definitely think reducing gluten in the diet is going to be super important, right? Do you have to cut it out completely? No. Do some people do fine eating gluten? Absolutely. I eat gluten and I'm okay, right? That's not the cause of my bloating. I know that. I know my body very well, right? And that is what we do. Once you know your body well, that's when you're going to be successful, okay? So yeah, you guys, again, it's part of a big process. So if you really want to improve your gut health, you want to get healthy, and you want to lose weight in the process too. Because guys, when you have a healthy gut, your weight loss journey is so much easier. I'm telling you guys. People sometimes come to me and they're like, I know I'm not healthy and that's why I'm not succeeding losing weight. Or people will say, Kristen, I'm eating all the right foods. I'm exercising and I'm not losing weight. I don't get it. I'm in a caloric deficit and I'm not losing weight. Well, guess what? If your body is not metabolizing those calories well, right, then there's a problem. Right? There's something going on, right? Or there's stuff up here, that weight release is going to be way more challenging, right? So if you're looking for help, guys, with the nutrition, getting back on track with fitness, really working on the mindset piece, reducing the stress and the frustration, all these negative emotions in your life, right, that affect your gut, right? The anxiety, stress, the depression, all these things. And you're looking for some consistency and accountability to do it all, right? And help you have the gut health that you want, gut health, right? Book a free call with me, all right? createmyweight.com/apply. That's all it takes, all right? And you and I will sit down and we'll look at your life, what you're doing that's working for you, what you've done that hasn't worked for you, and we'll come up with a game plan of what will work for you long-term. So you can have a healthy gut, you can lose weight if you need to, and you can keep it off for good. Because guess what, guys? Even if you lose weight and you want to maintain it, having a solid gut health is imperative for weight maintenance. You want to know that, it's important for weight loss, but even more important for maintenance and longevity. You guys, as a coach, and I was talking about this with health coaches earlier, we're always thinking big picture. So oftentimes, like clients I work with, they're thinking about weight loss. Okay, how can I lose weight weekly? That's not even an issue, right? That's definitely doable. It's the big picture of okay, how am I going to sustain this for life? Right? And that's where I come in. I'm like, you got to do X, Y, and Z, and then you're set. Right? So this is key. Okay. And if you want some help with this, you don't know where to start, you think you're doing some things right, but other things are not working for you, book a free call with me. Like I said, createmyweight.com/apply. I know this time of year, people are doing all different kinds of diets. They're doing the Whole30, they're doing the 21-day fix, whatever. When you're done with that and you're like, I want to know what actually works for me, what's sustainable, give me a call, right? Or book a call with me, actually, if I have some availability. And we'll see what will work for you long term. Let me see. Isa, what's going on, Isa, oh my gosh, my health coach, girl. I was just reading about probiotics today. Great for mental health. The gut and brain are connected. Oh my God, yes, Isa. Preaching to the choir, girl. I know, right? It's so important. I'm so glad you're recognizing that. And I think society as a whole is recognizing that. I know there's been a big push for meditation and all different kinds of, mental health exercises. But also to you guys, I always say sitting in emotions is really important. So there's two ways to deal with emotions and, stress, for example. We can create space from it, which is meditation, going to do a workout, going for a manicure, massage, or whatever, self-care, whatever you want to call it. And then there's also sitting in emotions, how to deal with this stress, because it's going to come back. What do I do with it? How do I deal with these circumstances? Whether it's a relationship, whether it's work, it's family, it's COVID, I don't know, you name it at this point. It's 2021. What's there not to stress about? How are you dealing with it? Because once you deal with that, I guarantee you your gut's going to be better without taking anything. You don't have to buy probiotics to have a healthy gut. No, you guys, people think about all the generations before us. These did not exist. They ate healthy food. And guys, I'm sorry. The food supply these days, if you are not eating a lot of organic foods, your gut health, oh, no bueno. And no, do you have to buy all organic food? No. And that's what I teach in my my program, you know, what foods to buy organic, what foods not to buy organic, because I get it. You know, we all have bills and organic food is not cheap. But guys, there's a reason why I'm going to spend $5 on a yogurt and I'm going to savor the crap out of this. Right? I don't gobble it up, right? Like I'm very intentional and present when I eat my yogurt. I'm like, damn, it's $5. And it takes me a week to eat it, right? Yeah. Awesome news for me in terms of probiotics for mental health. Yes, Donna, get on that, girl. Yes, awesome. All right, guys, so there's no other questions. Are there any other questions? Comment in the chat here if there's other questions. I'm way over the time I thought I would be. And guys, like I said, I could talk for hours about gut health. Lots of great novels on it. But again, you know, the research is really new for the mind-gut connection. Even when I saw Dr. Meyer 2 years ago, you know, he was saying, guys, like a lot of it, in the book is very science heavy. I will be honest with you guys. So if you're not into like scientific literature, might not be for you, but it is an eye opener for sure. And a lot of it's very, you know, preliminary, but they know. And a lot of people can attest to it. All right. And I'm going to keep taking this probiotic for the next 60 days and I will report back to you guys. All right. Much love to you guys. If you're catching the replay or even if you're watching it now, give me a little takeaway. What was the biggest lesson you learned from today's training? All right, what did you learn today? What are you going to do differently? What are you going to focus on? What's your action step? What are you going to do? Okay, tell me. All right, here's your accountability for the week. Take advantage of it. All right, thanks for joining me, Issa, Donna, Erin, Rebecca, Lizelle. I got Donna, right? Yeah, awesome, guys. Everyone else in the group, much love. I'll see you next week for a different topic. All right, bye.